I said get on with the shape out, shut down, or I will do the shutdown. I'll bring up more troubles upon all this calling that shuttle, Discovery cards, Explorer, Internet Car Corps, exploration mission centers are all gone. Hell like you've never shown before. Not accepting any more kids into these United States and returning all the ones that are here. From all the foster cares, all the daycares, all the housing centers. Return them all back to Mexico, and those grandparents will come and collect those children, reuniting them with their families or uncles or some relative in their family. Not acceptable to kill those 2 black men, kids, trying to laundry for all 17 states of ballots. For those missing kids, immigrants, that you called in all 17 of those states. One of the black kids killed was in Chicago and the other one was in Pennsylvania. Members of management will not want me to break down those license fees from all those filings. Both were dead men votes. As hospital stay votes, they are dead on arrival notices, slogan, filing as dead men posting. You killed at the hands ballot, handguns. The hands of the law as law enforcement, hands up, don't shoot, the UPS store. Don't shoot slogan now folds. We will all be returning back all of those bank accounts. Or do you all see that I have said I've seized all these invalidations? Can't keep running for elections when nobody has voted for you. We've been supporting all these nations with our black kids and our black men being shot unarmed for hand ballots, writing my name in as a candidate or running mate. Voting for any one of them is null void. You kill our kids, black men. This is so tragic that I will wire no more calls. All is from hides. As I have spoken, these holiday sales as robberies and breaking in, breaking deals, startup costs are also gone. This was how the New York governor had planned to get his votes counted. And also that donation by the former mayor who switched sides and becoming a Republican. Now donating no more income as these remnants of warehouses were stored as all these detention centers on both sides of the issue. Trying to post for Chi-Town, schools, hall meetings, town hall meetings, rooms of boxes have failed. Why are unarmed kids, unarmed, being gunned down for all these ballots and giving migrants 2-day failure calls? As all houses now nosedive as CDC control remote ID. All those immigrants in detention centers are null voided and are to begin evacuation upon notice. No more transfers. Deportations are to be had at hand 10 years to get off of all of our jail tabulations, as well as startup cost. All have fallen. 10 years was the penalty. Everything is to be sent back home, back to their families where the welfare pay listings can be properly shown. Also, Mexico will not be lining in themselves into this year's annual database called a $1 trillion ID as to house all of these children. It costs us $1 billion every year. Mexico's government is responsible for this food line listing. It was a trillionaire call. They can also set up these housing shelters, emptying out a building for making sure these citizens and civilians coming from all around the world just crossing over a chicken wire to get into this United States as a funding of file for war funds. Soldiers inside the IRS have paid no more savings account as Hoover deporting 1 million immigrants, Mexican. Truman, 1 million Mexicans deported. As the government's IRS tags ISIL is gone. Every mob family has lost all this money talking too long, staying too long on TV. Immigrants are outnumbered by the country. As the government, I wanted all of you to see this horrible way they've been stealing your names, making you pay for things that the mob just comes up with. Quit creating long listings as our patents office. Through all this racketeering, it is not allowed, showing that one of those days is called. As the military's men has been fought back, as the scenery is now changed. Nobody gets an overnight stay or a visit as all of those children being brought into New York City through a foster care. Somehow we didn't know that they were being lined in as being shipped on airlines, and we're also paying those contractors to break the law. All are to be returning back to Mexico. It is to be returned as from this fraudulent standing, all 800 kids downloading as database file. They're just on TV too long. Why are they killing Americans for their Social Security cards and their school sanctionings? 17-year-old were both of these kids, black kids. If we continue to drink the wine and not seeing what's going on, you will all become extinct. If we don't start smacking back, calling those children underage, votes don't count. All those daycares are graduating kids to use their names as last lines, 14-year-old tags as being 18-year-old graduating colleges, students, and school students, sewing as ballot boxes, lining them in as these kids in daycare. The boards said time to stop repeating these same injuries. We're not voting these people into office. They just don't want to get off the government's payroll. They like the control over costing you all your citizenship. Now we're paying for complete packages, lining them in on Obamacare, giving them a driver's license, hospital stays, dental teeth repairs, credit checks, mental defense in our government payroll listings, medical insurance. They're receiving full graduate, college, school scholarships, meals every day, diaper rash, creams as jobs, also gone as stealing your names to cost us no jobs. These things have gone on. Also, free housing. They're staying on the IRS tags as housing taxes. While we have our citizens suffering on the streets, not receiving any kind of medical benefits or dental care, just assisting the mob with all of these benefits to keep them shoring all of the sanctioning over all of our lives. I said this is all shut down. Notified that every building is to be equipped with sanctioning. It is time to shut down all of those staff workers on government's payroll policing this violation. All of these buildings are to be emptied. No more education, meal pays, dental, hospital, food stamps, Social Security, pay listing checks, food stamps, new bank accounts as low income. While we're all losing work and standing in the way is also called gone. I want all of those citizens arrested. You may not allow these people to break the law and come across a chicken wire and they get in anyway. When those ICE agents send them home, the mob's enforcement gets them back into the database, sending them to diverted tactics. Also not allowed. All this underground operations while you thought our best interest was at hand by that so-called administrations of past. All these kids were used as their backgrounds for money laundering. Now, again, why are teachers' unions, ACLU, law firms going away from all of these hides as 600 more Methodist preachers, governors in all 50 states, as all the daycare booth rentals, suits, lawsuits, All have been drafted, returned from Hyde. Why are we going to court to file for box stuffing, payroll deductions? Trump has reversed what he stated to separating the families. So this is not constitutional. He was not ever allowed to write any legislation. So we're seeing that this was a paying post for stay here votes. The 1997 court ruling and the 2007 court ruling, stay here votes, cancellation checks, shown to be 20 days staying for children only in housed confines, and also 72 hours constraints. Racketeering is all that I've been showing you. This listing is not allowed as I'm cleaning houses. Unloaded cables as the mob hides from all of this debris, website, dust particles, cleaning equipments. Nothing was ever allowed to have this managing of money fraud going on all day beyond the cause of law's gravity. Safeguarding our houses is where the focus should be, and return all these citizens back to their homelands. Now, not being used by gangs and mobs and internet raids. Nobody is having sales as these alerts. I said, let go of all these child abductions and all these house sirens, security systems, payroll listings, as all has gone on too long. We're not Pomeranians as black men vote as an Iranian being talked about on the Roseanne Barr show. I said, let go.